Alright folks, pleasure, welcome back to another Opponent Masters video. Last one before I go to bed, because it's almost 4 in the morning, and I have work in the morning. So let's quickly go over this again. Thank you guys for checking out all the videos, all that stuff. I already did videos on the covering the new units. You can check it out on the channel, and I would very much appreciate if you guys subscribe. Yeah, because again, it's usually the analytics are weird, but it's like usually shows like around only 50% of people watch subscribe. If the other 50% subscribe, we would have more subscribers than the official Pawn Masters EX YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I think after the synchro, that should be most of the info. Unless anything comes up, then I'll obviously inform you guys as soon as possible, if I'm awake. So let's go over this. So Hilbert and Cyrus are getting expanded synchros, right? And that's kind of exciting. Unfortunately, I can only hop on this website right now for the synchro, which looks really again, it's a really useful website, but not the best for presentation, I guess, in comparison to the Synchro helper. But the Synchro helper is usually a bit slow on these, so just bear with me here, folks. All right, so starting off with Hilbert's grid, right? So Hilbert obviously is a physical support, right? You could easily max out the physical attack in 2 moves with his trainer move, because at max HP you get +3 on that. So use 2 of those, and you're +6 for your whole team, right? And you also have +4 speed with X speed, all right, which is really nice. You got Waterfall, could flinch, and then Aquatail, which doesn't really do much, right? And then you also have Impervious, so your stats can be lowered. All right, so anyways, getting into the grid, we got some really good stuff. This is a fantastic upgrade, right? So starting from the top here, you got Waterfall Aggravation, which is Waterfall Aggravation, right? Increase your chance to flinch, so obviously flinch is very powerful in this game, so that's really nice. Move gauge refresh 3 on Waterfall as well. Some Waterfall power-ups, I guess. Your usual sync move power-ups, obviously. Moving on to the bottom left side over here, actually, you got the Aquatail stuff. Move gauge refresh there, and you got Aquatail defense crush too, so your Aquatail is actually kind of useful now, other than just doing damage before, which it doesn't even do that much damage. But now it's actually useful because you could use it for defense crush, which most of the time, if you're running Hilbert, you're usually running it with another physical striker, right? So to have a 30% chance to decrease your opponent's defense every time you use a move is pretty helpful in my book, right? For your physical striker. Moving on to the bottom right side over here, we got the trainer move MP refresh. Unfortunately, it's only MP refresh 2. But it's still MP refresh. But I mean, you generally don't really need it if you're just trying to max out attack, right? Because again, you could get max attack in 2 uses over here, right? Just sometimes if the opponent lowers your attack, something you might want to top it off or top it, back up. You could use another MP refresh, but generally, again, you don't really. It's not a big deal, right? You got Crit Squad 2 and In This Together, which is fantastic. Crit Squad 2, so you can max out your team's physical attack and crit in 2 moves. It's really good, right? Really good. So that's fantastic. It is 12 energy, really costly, but very much worth it. Moving on, Endurance, which is nice, I guess. I mean, his defensive stats, if I could move my thing. Actually, never mind. It's there. Defense stats are okay, right? 200 some, these are really solid defensive stats, right? Unfortunately, the Hilbert doesn't have any heals, which would have been really nice if it had heals, but that would be slightly overpowered if you had heals. But then again, Sabrina has heals, so it might not be, well, if Sabrina is slightly overpowered, but it might not be that overpowered, but he unfortunately didn't get heals. But again, that's fine here. He's still got a lot of really great stuff, right? So you got Shielded Squad over here and In This Together, which +1 defense for your whole team, which is nice, right? Unfortunately, you can only get +2 defense, which isn't a lot, but it's still something, right? It cost 8 energy though, so Energy might be a bit of an issue on Hilbert. You definitely can't pick up everything, but you could pick up, you know, some really, really great stuff here, right? You got X speed, slippery 1, raise your evasion by 1 if a move is successful. It's nice, but it costs 10 energy, and there's so many other just better nodes on the grid that you could go for instead, right? Got Vigilance, so you don't get crit, which is great if you're planning to use him like as a main tank. Like, I guess you could like do something like this. You could bring in Hilbert, you could bring in the Physical Striker, and then like you could bring in like something like a Starmie or I don't know, what's another good one? Starmie or a Comfy, right? Maybe even Xerneas, although Xerneas only has like 1 MP. But you know, some other units that have like regen, and you could tank with Hilbert, and it wouldn't be that bad, right? Because again, great, you know, defenses and HP, and you got vigilance as well, and +2 defense, which again, not the biggest deal in the world, but it's something, right? So that's nice. And then you got Emergency Huddle 3, which raises the defense of your whole team by 2 when in a pinch, which is this is kind of pointless. But outside of that, a lot of really, really great stuff. Again, very, very energy heavy. A lot of these pretty expensive stuff, right? Oh, also Pressure Cooker 4 here, which 3% chance of reducing move countout by 1 in a pinch. Yeah, not this. This is not really good. But overall, fantastic sync grid for Hilbert. Really, really, really great job here. This grid, right? This is fantastic. Finally, like, we got a very, very reliable physical physical buffer, right? So moving on to Palkia over here, right? So whoops, how do I there we go. Palkia's grid is okay. It's not anything crazy, but it's still, you got some good stuff there, right? So starting from the top, right, we got, this is all the Spatial Rand power-ups, right? As usual, 4 energy, 3 power-ups per, I guess, 3 gauge moves. It's pretty standard. And then you got Move Gauge Refresh 2 on Spatial Rand. Unfortunately, it's only 2, which slightly sucks because Palkia's speed's not the best, right? But then again, you're mostly not going to be using Palkia for Spatial Rand. I mean, Spatial Rand's just not that great of a move, just because like the base power is slightly low. Then you got Catastrophe 2, which powers up your sync moves with a crit by 20%. Again, not that great, just because your sync moves like is Spatial Rand as well, which has, you know, it's I mean, it's not like terrible, but you're mainly going to be using Palkia for like water damage, because like its water damage is insane, right? Because it does have, you know, despite the bad stats. Well, I mean, 20 out of 20, it's should be good, right? Because we are getting 20 out of 20, right? Yeah, it's solid stats at 20 out of 20, right? Like, these are really, really good. But your main thing is, like, it comes from, I haven't used this. I don't use this website too often. Where to check the passives? Anyways, it has, like, where's the passives, man? It has Crit Strike 1 billion on the passives. And by 1 billion, I mean 9. Anyways, whatever, I give up. So, anyways, he has Crit 9 passives. Crit Strike 9. So, yeah, moving on to the bottom right corner. Got an MP refresh on the trainer move. You don't really want to do this, I guess. I mean, you do cut into your HP when you use your trainer move, right? And like, it's not a big deal because you can max this out anyways. So why would you want to take more HP or health unless you're Balvilling? And even if you are Balvilling, I mean, it's really worth like cutting another extra 25% of your like main striker's HP. Anyways, moving on. Hydro Pump ramming speed, extra 30% on your Hydro Pump damage, which is already like insanely high. And then you get another 30% multiplier. That's fantastic, right? Got healthy healing, which is really nice, right? So after you use your New World Orders, like, you could heal it back up relatively easily, right? With healthy healing. So you really don't have to like worry about the HP that you take from using your trainer move, right? I mean, you're not going to heal up 100%, you know, by the time your opponent sinks, but it should be pretty high enough to withstand some attacks. Again, at like 20 out of 20, good HP, you know, solid defenses. You should be fine, right? Moving on. Steady aim, crit can't be lowered. I don't, like, bro, what even lowers crit in this game? I don't think there has been, like, a single opponent that lowers crit. I don't even know why people are still getting this passive. Anyways, I mean, probably in the future, but, like, goddamn. Top right, we got Refreshing Rain, which is nice, I guess, if you're running it in rain, which you probably should, because, you know, Hydro Pump just does so much damage in rain. It's insane, right? Move gauge refresh on Hydro Pump, and again, the same power ups, +3 for 4 energy, and got accuracy buff, +10 for 10 accuracy. And then +5 for 5, or 5 for +5 accuracy. I mean, sure, but it's just better to get like an accuracy buff for like a Sabrina or something on your team anyways, right? Or maybe like something like Sing Solisa, plus like you need the crit anyways. So this is I'm not a huge fan of like most accuracy nodes. If you have like an accuracy buffer, right? Moving on. Bottom right is just water pulse stuff. Move gauge refresh on water pulse. Confusion synergy 3 on water pulse, and then aggravation 1 on water pulse. And then crit focus 2. So first water pulse stuff, right? I mean, water pulse, you can confuse your opponent, but like if you're running Palkia as like a pure like tech confusion unit, that's kind of weird. Why would you do that? Just use like Meowstic instead or something, right? Or Acerola, or Mallow, whatever. Like, why are you using Palkia for that? But for crit focus is nice, I guess, right? Because then you don't really need to bring a crit buffer. Because if you just like attack with like Spatial Rend, use a few Spatial Rends here and there, you have 50% chance to like crit on your Spatial Rend anyway. So if you crit on it once, if you crit on your Spatial Rend once, right, you basically get 100% crit on Spatial Rend. So if you use it again, you have +3 crit. So all you have to do if you pick this up is just use 2 Spatial Rends, and then you're at max crit. See? You can max out your special attack, max out your crit, max out your speed. So when just team building, you just think about bringing like a rain unit or like some accuracy buffers / your tanks or whatever, right? So you don't have to worry too much, right? So yeah, both of these are pretty good upgrades, obviously. Slight understatement, especially for the Hilbert one. Hilbert grid's really, really nice, right? So anyways, that's for this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed this video, so channel for some more Bone Masters content, and I am heading to bed. Have fun, folks. Lots of really, really exciting stuff. By the way, I just checked on Twitter. Like Leon, Marnie, and Charles, like they're all trending on Twitter, which is pretty progress. Also, we hit the limit. We hit the 30K retweet, which is pretty crazy. So there we go. We're gonna be getting what 60 scout tickets and 3,000 extra gems. Very, very nice night. Anyways, again, thank you guys for watching. Check out all the other stuff on the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.